Game number 1 of the day. Alright, the X Cup 4, ladies and gentlemen, continues. And yeah, we have got a few surprises for the second tournament. I gotta admit that the first one was insanely stacked. It was crazy. And I already have to give you the warning, X Cup Fall Qualifier 2, the tournament at hand, is not quite as stacked. There's a couple of teams that are not playing today. The Donuts aren't playing. I actually don't think they realized that there was a tournament today. The Hardos are not participating today, but we have a couple of the top teams playing. Team Wah, for example. And also, some teams have slightly reformed. Chili Mountain, for example, is not playing today because some of their players have now joined Mena and Breeze's team. So we have Mini Fnatic back, and I'm sure we're going to see them later. But that's what I'm personally excited about today. So this is the second qualifier. A lot of teams are still figuring this out. And as obviously explained, some teams just won't be able to participate in every single qualifier. That's the reason why we have this many qualifiers. For some, it's easier to play on a weekday. For others, it's easier to play on the weekend. So today we have in our first match Inting for Ruby against Team Name Change. Now this is something that I honestly don't know if other MOBAs, other team games in general are as bad as the Heroes of the Storm teams, but it is always funny to me how atrocious Heroes of the Storm teams have always been and perhaps always will be when it comes to picking a name for their team. And they always go for these like inside joke memes and then come in with the most like crazy names that nobody understands but themselves and a few handful of their viewers, and that's about it. So now we have Team Name Change over here, and Oldie But Goldie. I mean, also TBA is a team name that we've seen a lot. Team Buy, just to make fun of the bracket a little bit. But as it stands, there's obviously a few players over there that you should at some point have already encountered. Klopaka, Honyo, Kea, Kasper. I mean, again, these names should ring a bell if you spend a lot of time on the European server and have watched a lot of these tournaments. And Inting for Ruby, I don't really think that I have to very much so introduce them. They've, of course, been quite strong and also a little bit crazy with some of the strategies that they've been playing in the past. Seems like Baby Houdini is not playing for them today, and they're playing with a sub, so apparently Galnagunar is playing for them here. Double support ban on Infernal Shrines. This is a best of 1, by the way, so first rounds are obviously always best of 1 in the qualifiers, and then the semifinals and the grand final are best of 3s. All of that obviously only affects the qualifiers. Once they're heading into the playoffs, we have best of 5s again. Quite a lot of those, and yeah, that's where the real action then starts. But in the qualifiers, you're just trying to accumulate points so that you can actually participate and qualify for the playoffs. Now, we got the first pick into Tigers, we got Hogger in 2, and Junkrat, Brightwing on the other side here in Infernal, plus Leoric coming in as well. Yeah, Leo is always pretty insane on this map. Adds a lot with the wave clear on the Shrine, but you have also strong rotations between the mid and the top from him. Yeah, and he's just crazy. Especially when you're fighting on the Shrine. If Leo dies, you really don't care, because he's going to respawn just in time to participate in the battle again. So if you can sacrifice him early, and he draws a lot of aggro, draws a lot of the spells from the opponent's team, and therefore cooldowns, that's in most cases a win, especially when we're talking about the earlier Shrines, when the respawn timer is insanely low, and he's going to get back in just a second. So for now, we got Diablo also banned out, with plenty of wall stun potential. Want to get rid of him ASAP. Kerrigan also eliminated. It's kind of funny how Kerrigan is these days an absolute standard ban against multiple teams that have proven that they want to play Kerrigan. It's kind of funny. When you go up against a team that hasn't really shown a lot of Kerrigan, then you normally don't care. When you go up against a team that has shown at least a couple of Kerrigan players, and everybody on maps like Infernal is immediately like, I should maybe ban her out. So yeah, it's the same here. But what's the double pick now? We got Hogger, we got Tychus, who are missing. We still need a tank for them. Could go for Jojo, I suppose. Good chance that we're gonna see her at some point. I mean, might see May as another one. And there's Garrosh and Anna. Okay, so Garrosh is in. We get Anna together with that. And I'm wondering if they're dropping a Zarya into the mix here. Which would be kind of cool as well. Yeah, I honestly would like that. If you get Zarya in this, it would be kind of cool. I don't know why, but lately I really enjoy Zarya games. It's probably because I like watching Roots on it, and he's the one that Zarya gets banned out of the most, and he at least plays her when he gets a chance. But now there's the triple frontline. the triple melee front line for Team Name Change, with the Nubarak and Imperius joining the fun. That's actually a scary lineup. It's a lot of CCs, slows, and stuns that they have. And Junker as the main damage dealer from afar, but we all know that Imperius can pack a real punch, so there's that. And last but not least, Galniguna. So what are we gonna get from him? It's Coffin Girl. We get Orphea, everybody. Infernal Shrines. First map in the tournament today. Best of one between the two teams as they are attempting to reach the semifinals. So let's head straight into the first map of the tournament. Game number 1, Inting for Ruby against Team Name Change. On the left side of the map, we got a Mind Talk on Orphea. Galniguna is playing Hogger, Nox on Ana, Fish on Garrosh, and Hat on Tychus. To the day, I'm still waiting for the moment where Fish plays Murky and Hat plays Abatha. That's such a missed opportunity, and we've talked about it for months, and they still haven't done it, and that is just a big on my end. So, on the right side of the map, Casper on Leoric, K on Brightwing, we got off on Nubarak. I hope he's on today. Honio on Imperius, and Lopaka on Junkrat. Alright, trying to get some of the dad jokes out of the way as we're heading into the game. And there is the first. Oh my god. If he got out of this one, that would have been special. But yeah, so he gets eliminated. Easy kill on Hogger. But that poor guy was just like flipped over, stunned out, polymorphed. The CC train hit him hard and he just didn't stand a chance there. Polymorph of K in particular was actually really on point too. Had no chance to pog away. So an easy kill early on for Team Name Change. But again, thinking about Inting for Ruby, they might just need a little bit of time to warm up to all of this. So now as we're heading into that, we have a little bit of a counterplay here against Hornio with Imperius, but Brightwing comes in and helps out. A bit of a flip from the Fish as he comes in with Garrosh to threaten Nubarak. And down at the bottom of the map, Tychus is already pushing this out a little bit too. But it's obviously time for the camps, and that's the first thing that happens here. You want to make sure that you're going to get your Khaldor camps en route. So they're already working on that, but a bit of an in-raid from the red team as they're attempting to steal this one. They already claimed their own. But Off is getting crushed. They might still get the camp, honestly, if they can hold that choke point a bit longer, but it's a bit unlikely. Nope, they still lock it in. Yeah, especially Garrosh being a little bit low was a problem. Oh, what a fear! With a big chomp here. They lose the camp, but they kill 2 heroes. So I suppose to an extent at least it was worth it. They pull ahead in experience, at least slightly, but they need to do a lot more than that if they really want to take a significant lead in the game. Now once more, a quick reminder guys, the X-Cup Summer and the X-Cup Fall are both sponsored by a Private Heroes of the Storm fan. Has been a player since Alpha, a fan of the competitive scene within the game. Is obviously also a little bit upset about Blizzard's treatment of HGC and wants to help the competitive scene out and set up a tournament series, and that's why we're here. So Mr. X wants to stay anonymous, is sponsoring all of it, and that includes the fall season. So thankfully we're back, and with an even better lineup than in the summer season, which I am very happy about. Our second qualifier, as mentioned, is not drawing as many teams as the first one, but that's mainly also because it's currently a weekday. And I really think that some of the teams haven't realized yet that we're back on our Wednesday-Sunday rotation. So especially the weekend tournaments are probably going to be more stacked, but we will have Mini Fnatic playing later on. Seems like they're trying to recreate that a little bit. So yeah, it's just crazy. The player setup that we had for the first qualifier was crazy, and I can't wait to see which teams are eventually making it into the playoffs here this time. During the summer, a lot of them were on vacation, didn't quite have the time here, but now that we're heading into the fall season, that's a very different beast. And our first fight in the game at hand is also currently coming through. Nubarak again in trouble. And Imperius gets flipped back into the fight, and that's a problem for him, but, well, apparently he's just allowed to walk out of it. So yeah, no real trouble for him. We got the bigger they are on Tychus, no Master Assassin in this case. Down at the bottom, another play for Imperius, who's able to jump out, and the blue team needs to be a bit careful. They're really looking for the kills here, and I like it, but at the same time they should work on the objective a bit, which they now do. Brightwing! Yeah, there's the kill. Brightwing goes down, Orphea comes through, drops the fruit fly. They got level 7. It was actually interesting to see that both teams 5-manned the shrine even before they locked in level 7 abilities. Usually you see at least one of the heroes on the off lane in an attempt to get the extra experience to lock the first level 7 talent in just a little bit sooner. But yep, now with this we have the next push or the pull over the wall. Lopaka in this case taking care of it. Obviously with an Arcane Punisher, those sentries are already starting to do a bit of work, not only against the minions but also the structures. But they're really not able to do a whole lot. This is one of the most disappointing pushes that I've ever seen in my entire life on Infernal Shrines. I mean, Inting for Ruby, come on guys. They always had a bit of a story of not really... I mean, the problem was in a lot of cases that when they were ahead or when they had an advantage, not pushing this advantage enough. That is an issue they had for weeks. And out of a first Punisher not getting the wall? I mean, I don't know, boys, but that is a bit of a sad move right there. So they should have definitely gotten a few more structures out of it. To be fair, this is the first objective, so it's not supposed to do all that much damage. Now, we've seen forts fall with the first one, but that normally involved a few more kills than we saw here. But they should have tried to take at least the wall down. So, anyways, there's the next little play. Gets Garage. I mean, both teams have now heroes that can go for displacement. Junker, of course, coming to mind on the red team. He's going to be the one trying to do most of that. There's another save. Oh, Fish on his Garage gets saved by Anna for now, but eventually he dies. Leo comes in with a mace to the face, rotating towards the top now as Imperius delivers the final blow. So the two side laners here working together for the kill. That's 3 kills to 3, but the blue team is locking in the first level 7. So they got level the level 10. And like, Khaldor's getting really excited about these level 7 talents today. Oh my god. Now, there's the heroics now. We got the Shockwave, we have the Nano Boost. On the other side, of course, team name change is not too far behind. And they have the delivery system with the Wrath of Angiris for Imperius. And they still pressure the bot lane. And Tychus, what is Tychus doing here? He must have walked into a Junkrat mine. And no way. He gets out? Really? There's the Reptile. No way. Tychus survives? What? I really thought that that's a lock. That looked like such a guaranteed kill on him. And it just felt a bit like they didn't focus him properly. Maybe everybody thought he's gonna die anyways and already started to focus other things. But yeah, Tychus should have gone down. So a couple of coordination mistakes on both sides, I'd say. Now in the middle, there's already more action happening. But for now, I don't want to say it's pretty uneventful because it isn't. There's a few skirmishes and fights happening. But we haven't really seen a team taking advantage by pressuring lanes properly or pulling ahead in experience. There was a small lead for the blue team as they were able to lock in the Punisher and get a few kills just before that. But right now, not much of that is still apparent on the map. So both of them are going for the Shaman Camp as the next shrine gets announced. And this fight will largely center around level 10 abilities since nobody's close enough to level 13 yet. I guess the blue team could hit it during the fight. But we'll see. There's the first flip by Garrosh. Okay, a little bit of a pong 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 by Hogger as he gets some damage out. Quite a fair amount. And already an early pop on Odin. Now, I'm not quite sure if that was really needed that early. Normally used a little bit later, roughly at the 20 minion mark of moving out. But he needs to be careful too, because he cancelled that E a bit early. And now they're trying to go for the backline fight again. Ophia with the Chomp dropping the ult, but that didn't last very long. That ain't 2 more, so not hitting anything. But here comes the first kill. Imperius is the one that goes down first. And team name change is now reduced to 4 players as Inting for Ruby takes control over the shrine once more. With 4 kills to 3 and a big lead, they're going to lock this one in. And then hopefully do a bit more damage with the with Punisher number 2 than they did with the first one. Yeah, they got to lock something in here. And they're already splitting very aggressively on the map. We have Tychus moving down here. And in the middle, they're just pushing with Garrosh. And here comes Coffin Girl. And Mindtalk and his boys are this time really working on those towers at least. So a bit of damage done at the fort. Towers should fall for sure. Tychus is now also moving in. Has 30 seconds on Odin. so he can't use it for the push, but at least they break through the gates, take the towers down. The fountain is already eliminated, and of course in this case it's time to steal the camp away too. Junkrat can't really do anything about it. Was trying but couldn't. At the top the wall has also fallen, so they're starting to get more structural damage done. Yeah, and down here they get another camp too. Hogger is taking the one on the left side of the map. I mean, all said and done, they're doing much better now. They haven't taken a fort down yet, but they're getting all of the camps. They're getting a bit more experience. They're more than half a level ahead. They've taken the fort in the mid lane down to half health. The fountain is gone. Down at the bottom of the map, by the way, it has been destroyed by the Punisher earlier as well. So, yeah. And here comes the play through the bot lane. Imperius with the ult. There's the cocoon and the insta-kill on Orphea. I like this combo a little bit more with Rocket Ride just because it's funnier. But with the Riptire, as you can see, it works pretty well too. Nano-boosted Garrosh saves the day for Tychus and makes sure that he doesn't die. Talking about dying. We really need to deal with this, because if not, then the fort goes down, but they arrive in time to block the wave. Hogger at the top is going to try and interrupt the rotation a bit, because his minion wave is doing damage here. Still half a level of a lead. And we got level 4 now on both sides. So in regards to the damage output, Junkrat is ahead, but Orphea is chasing him. 29,000 for her. Junkrat is sitting at 31. So there's that. And yeah, Ana hasn't really done all that much damage. Ana and Brightwing are locked into a duel that is for the ages. Who does less damage in this game? Is it going to be Brightwing or is it going to be Ana? It's a showdown, everybody. 500 damage are currently dividing the two. To be fair, that's 10% of the damage that Ana has done so far. But a little bit more pew-pew that we could see from Nox here might change things. So we're going to keep an eye on that as well, of course. But the next objective is going to spawn at the bot lane. And honestly, this is one of the few where we are getting a big advantage for Inting for Ruby, because they still have their fountain up at the bot lane. And team name change doesn't anymore. Yeah, they already suffered quite a bit of damage bot side. So this is an opportunity right here for Inting for Ruby to maybe finally pull ahead and get their fountain. Sorry, their fort, the first one. We have a level 16 for them, also kicking in just a few seconds earlier than for team name change. The window can't be used in this case, so it's going to be an even battle one way or another. But still. The Royal Focus and the Ominous Wraith are now both in, and Epic Enter has been chosen by Anubarak. So you can dive the backline a little bit more with this Epicenter. Got the Melting Touch and the Divine Rage. Yeah. I always knew that Imperius was a rager. You know, all these like super strict types like him, they always rage inside. I didn't use the ult here, and thank God for that. That would have been cool on the Don't Want to Burn. But here's the party. Let's go, baby. Super early Odin again. And jumping onto the back and trying to go follow Parker, but up at the top, Orphea nano boosted against Cocoon. That actually helped her, if anything. So they're trying to go for a kill. Oh, yeah. Mind talk. He's still alive. Nearly until the end of the fight. 13-7. Yeah, initially it helped Orphea to survive, but Lopaka followed up nicely with the mine and then catapulted Orphea into the back of the team. It's a 4 versus 4 for now, but as I already mentioned during the draft, Leoric is going to be back very, very quickly. And he is going to turn this into a 5v4 in another 4 seconds. And now that Imperius is dealing with not only Tychus, but maybe even getting a kill on Garrosh, the situation is getting even worse for Inting for Ruby. Here's the Entomb, there's the kill. The Fleabag is down, Hogger eliminated, and team name change has taken the lead. Yeah, team name change able to pull it off for now. There it is. And as you can tell, this is going to be their first objective. Yeah, they're going to get the first one here. And that will be interesting, honestly. That's actually going to be really interesting, because technically they can now pull ahead in nearly every aspect of the game. They are already ahead in experience, they're ahead in kills, as long as Imperius defends at the top and they are able to take the bottom fort down. They should not only be able to pull ahead in structures, but they might even be able to do some damage on the keep itself. And they are looking at a comfortable 50% level lead. And since they also took the camp, that is a push that Team Inting for Ruby should be worried about a little bit. Yeah. So that's going to be an interesting one right here. I'm a little bit curious, but down at the bottom, they abandoned this position. Instead, they're focusing on the middle, so they're going to walk away with 2 forts. He could have done a bit more damage than the Frozen Punisher does by itself at the bot lane. Frozen Punishers are probably the strongest one in the game right now, because, I mean, it's more or less an integrated Sylvanas push. But they got 2 forts now out of the situation, and that is pretty good. Yeah. With this now, we have the next push straight up through the top lane. They're looking to kill all 3 forts. And all that it took in the game was one single Punisher, one team fight at the right moment, and team name change pulled heavily ahead here. And is now half a level away only from 20. Brightwing is at 9,000 damage. Anna is at 8k. So yeah, seems like Anna is losing out on that battle. Or winning, depending on how you look at it, right? We have one hero on each side that hasn't fallen yet. Anna hasn't died on the blue team side, and Junkrat has 0 deaths for team name change. So yeah, good for them too. But yeah, 3 kills against Orphea. And Orphea's at 36,000 damage, but if you compare that to what Junkrat brings to the table, then he has managed to pull heavily ahead here. So that's another one. But yeah. Now, up at the top with level 20, they can now technically try to go for this. Inting for Ruby shouldn't fight this. Against all the CC, against Leo with an Entomb, yeah, they should back the hell out of there as quickly as they can. You don't want to give them opportunity to drop that buried alive on you. So posturing for a second, I guess, is fine, but no, like, for love of God, just don't fight. I was really afraid when they postured up here that they would try and defend this, because they really shouldn't. This is a lost cause anyways. And it's only going to be made worse if they lose more than that. But again, as it stands, we now have 20 against 19, and there it is! The Buried Alive is in, the Cocoon in the back, Sleep Darts are coming out. They are still looking for the kill on Garrosh, but they can't really get it. The chomp of Orphea continues, but not for long, and there's the Reptile hit! Mind Talk, though, is trying to get out, and he doesn't manage to. Orphea is killed. The camp is about to be stolen. They're looking for even more with a quick slow against the Fleabag. But they haven't taken the camp yet either, so if they really wanted to claim it, there's only the Shaman left, but they can definitely take this. But with Orphea down and the main damage dealer gone, or one of the two, they're just saying, guys, let's push through the middle and try to open at least the gates up. The next Punisher is actually spawning mid lane, so if they can win it, that would be a move straight for the core. 20 versus 20 at this point. Monster within, no control. And Imperius is dead as Inting for Ruby fights back everybody. Yeah, Inting for Ruby is actually fighting back. And that kill was actually at a perfect moment in time, because Orphea is going to be back nearly in time for the shrine. For now it's a 4 versus 4. But there's actually a chance that they're winning this objective. And if they do, they can go for keep. Because that fort in the mid lane has barely any hit points left. So the attempted counter kill from team name change. They're trying to go for it quickly. Here comes Odin. Orphea is on the way. She's slowly making her way over. Leo! 70 HP! And he still dies. Tychus kills him. Everybody else is low too. And that is bad news for team name change. They had the momentum in the game and they just lost it, as Inting for Ruby takes some kills, moves onto the objective, controls the shrine, and is likely going to walk away with another Punisher that could not only take the fort in the middle of the map, but also take the keep itself down. So there's that. The damage output for now, 43,000 for Hogger, 43,000 for Orphea. Junker is sitting at 66k, which is kind of bonkers. There's a double catapult at the bottom of the map, one at the top. We are 18.5 minutes in. And they really need to do some work, you know. They need to not only... Like, the fort is not enough. The fort is not enough. That thing evaporates, of course, within seconds, but it's a 5-man defense now. And, yep, with the camp claim down here and the catapult still in play, this could definitely threaten the keep. So, in the mid lane, they need to do some real damage if they want to have a chance to control the flow of the game. And they should aim to at least get the keep, because they're going to suffer a lot of damage at the bottom. This might actually be a keep for a keep trade. Entomb! And there's the kill against Garrosh. Oh my god, guys, this is a disaster for them. if they're losing more heroes and can't even get the keep, then this is an absolute shit show, because bot lane, they're gonna lose it for sure. Now they lost 2 heroes, make it 3. 3 of their heroes are down. The bottom keep is gonna fall. Those catapults are doing the work, and I think the red team just realized that they can go for game. So they're not even saving their own keep. They're just looking at it and say like, fuck it. Let's ignore that. We are going bot lane, baby. We are going for the core. And they should. Because the Punisher is going to be defended against by the core alone. At the bottom of the map, they now have a shot to make it into the next round of the tournament. So here they come. And that should be the end of this game. For now, Inting for Ruby. I mean, they fought back several times, but this is not winnable anymore. Tigers is the only damage dealer that's really left, and it's a 5-man commitment towards the core. You can't really win this any longer. Nope, this is game. Team name change. They move on to the next round. The Punisher does a bit of damage on the right side of the map to the core too, but it's just not enough, not even close. And this is a victory for team name change as the red team locks in the W on Infernal Shrines.